So what do we do if we have a Microsoft Word document and we don't know whether it's been formatted correctly, which in fact is what happens most of the time? What is the smartest thing to do? Well, let's see. First of all, we're going to go to Window, Workspace, Typography. Okay. We get a set of panels over there. We also get some controls up here at the top. I'm going to click off of everything again. I'm going to go to File, Place. I go to my Russian Constructivist document. I turn on Show Import Options. I click Open. Okay. In this case, since I don't know how good that document is, instead of preserving the styles and formatting from text and tables, I'm going to tell it to remove styles and formatting from text and tables. And because I know that there's some italics and some bolds and things like that in it, I'm going to tell it to preserve local overrides. If I don't know that there's any italics or bolds that I need to maintain, I could turn that off and it would strip everything out. And I would just get a simple text document. So next I'm going to click OK. Again, it's going to substitute for Cambria. Click OK. Notice that nothing is coming in formatted. Well, okay, that's bold, which is a little bit useful. Tells me where my subheads are. Okay. And we have some pink text. If I go to my character styles, okay, so I didn't actually get character styles this time. What I have is some pink text. What I'm going to want to do, the smartest thing for me to do right now is, since I have that pink text and it indicates where italics and things like that are. Actually, I don't need to do that. Delete that. Delete that instead. What I want to do is I want to start building some of my own styles. I'm going to start with character styles. And I'm going to drag that over here. Trying to set character back. I'm going to pick this text here, which I know is supposed to be bold. And I'm going to go new character style. And it's going to be, I tend to use the codes that they use when we're coding HTML, in which case I would call this strong. There is some bizarre chance that InDesign at some point will allow you to export formatted text, in which case it would be useful to have the style names come across to match the HTML, but you don't have to do that. You could just call it bold. And then I'm going to go to basic character formats instead of Cambria, change it to Futura BT, or I could just have it delete that and just have it be bold. And then it'll pick up whatever font family I use to format the rest of this. And I'm going to click OK. And then I want to make sure that I click on strong and apply it. So it's like that at the moment. It is, if I click on it, it says it's strong, so that's good. Then I'm going to go and add another new character style. Hang on a second. Let me go and I'll actually select that new character style. I'm going to call it emphasis. Basic character format. And delete the Cambria and tell it to be light italic. And click OK. So that's emphasis, and then this pink is emphasis. Okay. So I have those applied. Next, oh, and I don't need those because they're already added. Next, I want to create a font, a style for my body font. So I'm going to click in this paragraph here. I'm going to go to what's called paragraph styles. Drag that away. I'm going to create a new paragraph style. You want to tell it to apply style to the selection. I go to my basic character formats. Right now it's set to Minion Pro. I'm going to make this Futura BT and light. And remember I said that the standard, a good place to start is about 10 on 12. So 10 point, and then I'm going to make that a hard 12 leading and not have it be automatic. I also want to go to indents and spacing, and I want the first line indent to be 12 point or 1P0. You'll see I have an indent. I think, and then I wanted to justify it. So the alignment, instead of left, I'll say left justify, which means that it's justified through the whole range of the paragraph, but then the very last line is flush left. Click OK. So that one is set. I'm going to go ahead and just apply it to all of my body text. Oh, and I did not name it. So I'm going to go back in. I can double click this paragraph style, and I'm going to change it to body. Click OK. Body. Notice that I have some more things that are italic. So I'm going to go emphasis. Come on. Emphasis. They're already, some of them are. Emphasis. Because if I hit the paragraph style, I'm likely to lose this indicator that they are supposed to be italic. So I'm just trying to make my work easier, because otherwise I'd have to refer to the original Microsoft Word document, and that would take a lot more time and effort. Okay, and then body and body, and body. These are not still coming incorrectly. So I'm going to go to emphasis and double click on it, basic character formats, and I'm going to tell it actually to be Futura BT light italic. Click OK. That still hasn't worked. So I'm actually going to need to option click on the emphasis to get these to change properly. So I'm holding the option key down, I'm clicking emphasis. Huh. That's weird. Okay, that's working. One needs to make sure one is actually holding down the option key and not another key when one is doing this. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. Okay. So, and then I'm going to go back up to here and option click on strong. But I need to double click on here. And I'm just going to go Futura BT bold. Click OK. This is still not changing. So again, option click on strong. And it does that. And again, I'm seeing this as being too big. So I'm going to double click here and go to 9 point. And that's going to be a little closer to correct. Next, we have some subheads and we have a caption. Well, actually more than that, we have some paragraphs that need to not be indented. So I'm going to click on this paragraph here, go to my paragraph styles. I'm going to create a new paragraph style. I'm going to call it body, no indent. And it's based on body. So I have a choice of no paragraph style, basic paragraph, or body. I want to base it on a style that already exists. And then because most of the style is the same, the only change is going to be the indent. I click OK. That's now body, no indent, but I still need to go back and double click body, go to indents and spacing, tell the first line to be 0. And that's no longer indented. I can click here, body, no indent, body, no indent, body, no indent. Okay, and this goes to body, no indent. All right. Next, we have our subheads. Well, we have this caption. There's no photo here yet, but this will be a caption. So I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to create a new paragraph style. I'm going to call it caption. I'm going to base it on body, no indent. And then I'm going to go to basic character formats and change this to light italic and click OK. And I now have a subhead for captions that gives me a caption that's the same font base as the text, but the whole line is always going to be in italic. Next, we go to the subheads. So I'm going to select the subheads. I'm going to go to new paragraph style. I'm going to call it subhead. We had it called head 2 or headline 2 or something like that when we were bringing it over from Microsoft Word, because that's what they were called. Here I would just call it what I want to call it, which is subhead. Basic character formats instead of Calibri. We're going to go to Futura BT. We're going to go to bold. We're going to make it 11 point. Well, actually, we can make it 10 point because it looks too big. Well, I mean, we want it to look a little bigger than the body copy. I'm thinking I might need to make it bold condensed, in which case I am going to go up a couple of point sizes. I'm going to change the leading back to 12, which is going to be a problem if I have more than one line of type. But in this case, if we have 2 lines of type, if it's 12 on 12, the type is going to be really close together. But as long as we can manage to keep this to a 1-line subhead, then we can keep it on 12 by 12. We want to do that so that this type lines up across. If this becomes 14, it's going to throw in an extra 2 points of space and things won't line up nicely. Okay. Advanced tricks of the trade. Then I'm going to go to advanced characters. I'm sorry, indents and spacing. I want it to align left. I want it to, I'm going to give it space before of 3 points and space after of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Space after 3, 2. Don't ask me why that doesn't add up correctly. But it doesn't. Okay. Click OK. So I have a subhead now that looks like that. I can now click on the subheads and click on the subheads. Subhead. Subhead. And it has its spacing already built in. And we're going to have one weird spot. Well, again, I'm going to rewrite this and constructivist art. We have a problem here where we have a headline or a subhead that's at the bottom of the column, which isn't good. I'm going to take this like here. I'm going to go to our character palette and I'm going to track this in maybe 5. Three, 4. 5. So that reduced that by a line. Okay. One other thing we'd probably want to add in here, well, so I don't have any images, so I don't know how this will really fall. But it would be better to have actually 2 lines there. But again, I don't know how the images are going to be added in and how much space they're going to take. So I can't really, I probably didn't need to do that. But that gives you an idea of how you can reduce widows and orphans by playing around with the spacing in a paragraph to get it to pull up or go down. Okay. So that's how you create your own styles. And then I would go back and put character styles there and paragraph styles there. One other thing. Is if I don't like where a word is, if I hit a, so say I've got a, well, let's go into preview. Say I don't like this placement of a word, and you might just not worry about that very much yourself, but maybe I do. And I have a paragraph that has an indent, and I want this of to be down 1 more line. I could hit return, but you see what happens is that I then get my, this is flush left, and then this is indented. So the way we would handle moving down a single word is instead of using a hard return, we use what's called a soft return. And I hold shift and hit return, and I can just move individual words around without having the paragraph indent suddenly show up. So, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so that's how to put in your own character styles and paragraph styles. And then it makes it very easy to consistently, well, and then and again, paragraph styles. So say the subhead, I want the subheads to be red. I can double click on this subhead, go to character color, go to red, and you see that by using styles, I make one change in one place and they all get changed automatically. And so styles are a great way for you to save a lot of time, essentially, when you're typesetting, as opposed to having to go through and select every one of those subheads and change the color of every one of them. We managed to do it very quickly using styles. And I would hope that you would rather use your time designing rather than your time just fussing around with the colors of your subheads. So it's very important.